You know, it's my own fault. It's my own little fault because I couldn't get it out of my head. It was driving me absolutely bonkers, and it doesn't even have anything to do with the story. It's all in my head. But 2 books ago, the last book was on the cruise. And maybe I missed it. Maybe it was mentioned, or maybe it was mentioned in the previous book, but I don't think it was mentioned in the previous book. I believe in book 5. This is book 7. So let's say a page marked for murder. No, yeah. I think it was that one. It was 2 books ago. This lady, Gloria, had the dog Pippa, or Pippi. And Addie cared for it, and Addie got attached to it, but she did give the dog back to the woman at the end of the book when the woman got out of the hospital. All of a sudden, Pippa is Addie's dog. There's no line that says Gloria gave it to her. She gave up this companion that she's had for a long time, and she was devoted to it. There's nothing that says she went out and bought a dog with the same name. It just drove me bonkers the entire book, so I couldn't enjoy the book because it drove me bonkers the entire book. And it was a stupid little thing, but it drove me bonkers the entire book. And now I would need to go get the other book and check it out because it's really irritating the life out of me. And I know it's stupid, but it did. So anyways, welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina, K-R-I-S-T-I-N-A. This is where I read books, talk about books, no special effects, no demons, none of that fancy stuff going on here. So anyways, you know Kalea is Addie's sister. Addie owns the bookstore, antique bookstore. And Paige works for her. And Kalea, her cousin, is a flake, and she's after money, and she got Jared, this high-powered finance guy, and he financed her a dress shop, and she was doing really well at the dress shop. Who knew she had these sewing talents? But she does, obviously. And she and him were having a little difficulties. And they had been out of town. And while they were out of town, his briefcase got destroyed. Got run over and lost. So she went to an antique shop and they got him another briefcase. However, now think about this. It's a random thrift shop in a random town in Boston that they've never been to before. She's never been to before. They just go in and she says, I saw this briefcase and I think it'd be perfect for him. And he's like, oh, you so-and-so from so-and-so town? And she's like, yeah. And the guy in the stop just gives it to her. No questions asked. And she's like, huh? I don't even have to pay for this? He's like, you already paid for this. And her boyfriend thinks that she planned this all. And she didn't. She had no clue. The guy in the store mistaken her. It becomes down a case of mistaken briefcase identity. So, the next day, her and Jared are having issues. And they have issues and he leaves early. And when she goes down to a shop, she finds him deceased. And she's got his blood on her a little bit. And he's got her blood on her a little bit. And he's got somebody else's blood on him a little bit. But she's the main suspect. And the briefcase is secondary. And the cops are like this. And Addie keeps going. It's got to be the briefcase. It's got to be the briefcase. It's got to be the briefcase. And she keeps going to this antique store. And they have another briefcase. But it's shape of a doctor's case. And she's thinking about it from Simon. Remember, we're doing the Simon, Doctor, Simon, Cop, Simon, Mark, Simon, Cop, Doctor, Cop, potential love triangle here. And you never actually see, I really don't feel it between her and Simon. I feel it a little bit between her and Mark, but I don't feel it between either one of them. And I just got some fingernails in my leg. So, they take Kalea in for questioning, and it really bothers Addie, and she's really thinking, could Kalea have done it? And she's stressing, and Serena, the other one, Serena. Serena may or may not be with child, and she doesn't want to know, and she's got all those hesitant things. Do I want to be? Do I want to know? Do I want to be? Do I want to know? Do I want to be? Do I want to know? And she's avoiding the whole thing. She's having all the symptoms. And that's not one of my favorite topics. So that kind of stuff that and the dog thing and Simon does some sneaky stuff we're not too sure about. Then the briefcase is missing from the clothing shop. And a similar briefcase, or the briefcase, is found in the dumpster, and this homeless lady finds it and retrieves it and tries to sell it to Addie, and Addie gets all excited, and the woman gets scared and she runs away. So Addie asks a few people. The few people tell about the homeless woman, and Simon happens to know her because he treats her. He's her doctor. They go out to see her. He gets the briefcase from her. And that opens up a whole nother ball of wax with the briefcase. And then Addie finds this antique shop. These two people are buying for her attention. They're all looking for these books because there's this cooking competition in town. And it's based on Civil War cooking and what people ate for Thanksgiving during the Civil War time period. And they're all looking for cookbooks with foods from the Civil War time period. So there's that stuff going on too. That's like a secondary situation. And then Addie gets quite upset because Pippa takes the Kalia quite seriously. So there's a situation there where Addie feels a little jealous. So she's jealous of cousins because the dog is attached to her cousin. She's worried, could her cousin have possibly killed Jared? What was going on with them? The whole 9 yards. There's a situation there. And then she's got the Simon on the brain, and she's got the doctor's case, the antique doctor's case, what came with all the implements and stuff like that. And she's like, do I give it to him as a friend? Do I give it to him as a potential spouse? Do I want to be a potential spouse? She's got all the, just like over it. And so we've got all these different situations going on. So Jared is deceased, and the issue with Jared is the briefcase, and what potentially could have been in the briefcase that was damaging information, and why the killer needed the information out of the briefcase. And then there's this big thing about missing books and possible forgeries that may or may not have been stolen, and may or may not be on the market that are really expensive. And they all have to do with this Civil War thing that's going on. Oh, this Civil War cookery. So, these two ladies, Gwen and Ivy, they're competing with their antique places, and they're trying to get Addie to spend some money in their place, and they're going to Addie because she's a good book person and she knows where to get books, and can she get these books and all this kind of stuff. And there's all this kind of stuff going on. But then in the background, you don't see too much of Simon. And you see Simon has made a mysterious purchase. But we don't find out what that is because it gets interrupted at the end. Because, spoiler alert, Kalia was Jared's sole heir. And she's moving to Boston, and she's going to open dress shops across the country. So she's leaving. And then, of course, Serena's news about the impending child. So that's the hysterics at the end of the book. But in the meantime, Addie is sticking her nose where it shouldn't belong, and the killer's not happy about Addie sticking her fingers where they don't belong. And there's a whole bunch of snooping going around. And every time they mention that dog, I want something. I just want a little piece. And maybe I missed it. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I didn't see it in those 2 books ago. But I can't see how Gloria, I think that's what her name was, gave up the dog with... I don't see it. So I want to know what's going on. I mean, it could be my fault. I missed it. So if I missed it and you've read these books, let me know. I reached out to the author. I have not yet heard a response. Who knows? So, that is the end of book 7. The mysterious, misplaced Mistaken identity, briefcase. What was in the briefcase? Were there documents in there? Why was the briefcase so important? It's later revealed the briefcase had hidden compartments in it. Catherine has some dating issues, and some other people have some dating issues, and a new guy, Felix, comes to town at the end of the book, or an old guy, or a previously seen character made an appearance at the end of the book, and he's going to be staying in town. So we'll have to see how that turns out in the next book. A Margin for Murder. But I was so hung up on that dog thing. It's my own fault. Addie and her running around to all these different antique stores and talking to Nick and Ivy, the two owners of this. Ivy and one set is Ivy and Gwen, and one set is Nick and Gwen. I forget how that went, but and we find out about Officer Jeffrey's promotion. He's now working for Mark. So we'll see what happens with that. And we end with Thanksgiving dinner. But, and those famous books that go missing that are probably one of the plot points for the book, because Addie keeps hammering on this. The briefcase and the books and the briefcase and the books. And who killed Jared and why is your mystery for the whole thing. And who went after the picker, or AKA, I forgot what her name was. Not Fern. It was something else. What the picker's real name was, and why they tried to beat her up and kill her to silence her. Because they later discovered that she was there and saw the disposal of the briefcase into the dumpster. So the person that disposed of the briefcase into the dumpster obviously is the person that killed Jared. So, to find out this information, we have to read the book. And maybe you can read it without getting on your high horse about this dog. Sorry. I mean, it destroyed my reading it destroyed my enjoyment because I was so pissed off about the dog. And I was half pissed off at the author and half pissed off at me that maybe I missed something in the previous book or the book before that. We'll see what happens. So have a good one. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I really need the likes and I really need the subscribes. Thank you.